Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and today is Tuesday, and that means it's time for stories and stamps. And today I am sharing a card with you that I have made for a new tutorial group that I'm part of. And this tutorial group features is a bundle focus program, and so all the cards are going to be made with the Season of Chic suite. And I just thought, sometimes I like to be challenged and to go outside of my comfort zone. And the kind lady said, well, if you're not planning to purchase this bundle, then don't participate. But I thought to myself, you know what? This is a bundle that I probably would not have purchased. But I like the idea of getting something that perhaps really didn't call my name and then discovering that it's actually really beautiful. And so I don't know how it is for you, but when I see paper, pattern paper, if it's made with colors that don't usually appeal to me, that sometimes turns me off the whole suite. So I decided to focus on the paper. Part of that reason was that I found the set a little bit overwhelming. There were so many different images and dies, and I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And it's been a busy, busy month. We just had our Dutch wedding celebration, and I've had company from Canada. So I've been playing tour guide, which is wonderful, so much fun. But it does leave you a little bit cramped for time as far as stamping obligations go. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I want to share it with you. So I'm going to share with you first the card that I made, and then I'm going to share another card using the exact same design layout, but it turns out completely differently. So let's take a peek. Here we go. So yeah, I've got my little pampered stamper thing here. I'm trying to be organized. Here is the Season of Chic stamp set. So it has flowers, shells, leaves, snowflakes, and a bunch of sayings. Now, the stamp set is much bigger than it appears because it's 75% of the actual size. So it's a lot bigger than what you think. And then there are the dies. And because this, I should show you, there's two sets. You can see how big that thanks is here. But since it's such a big stamp set, I usually put a magnet inside for the dies. But, oh, this came off here. It needed even two sets of sheets. So there are all the dies. Okay, so here you can see what is all included. So let's take a look at my card. So here's the card, and I chose to use that distressed gold paper. And so it's a very vintage card. And how I did the saying here is I stamped it in early espresso, and then I immediately sprinkled it with clear embossing powder. And so the clear embossing powder comes now in a package of basics. So I think it's black, white, and clear in a pack. And because that gold paper, when you stamp on it, it kind of beads a little bit and it doesn't dry right away. So that actually works out really well. So you can stamp and then emboss. So I used my Stamparatus, I stamped it a few times, and then I sprinkled clear embossing powder on. And I really like the look of it. Now, I was toying with the idea. It also looks nice with a pop of white. But then it takes away from the vintage feel. So I'm not sure which one I like better. And then I put embossed a little love you at the top. I thought that was really pretty. But see how nice that paper is? Yeah, so I've included 3 different sheets of the pattern paper and then a little strip of the gold. And then the base of the card is a memories and more. So we have our memories and more, assorted memories and more cards and envelopes. So I think there's 40 in there. So 20 small ones and 20 big ones. Yeah. At least that's what I think. Or maybe it's 10 of each and then all the envelopes. I don't know. Anyway, it's a great pack. We're going to use another one. I'm just taking one out. And it measures, when you fold it, let me just put that out of the way. It measures 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I chose to cover the whole front. And then one other tip with this, I also stamped the leaves on the gold and embossed just to give them a little bit of detail. It's really subtle. And then this leaf was cut right out of the paper, and these were just cut out of pattern paper just to give a little bit of contrast. So super cute. And then I used the brushed metallic gems as an accent. So before I get started on the card, I want to show you the paper. Okay. So these are the brushed metallic gems I used. And for my card today, I'm going to use these guys. These are brushed metallic. These are rustic metallic. Sorry. I used rustic metallic on the first card, and I'm going to use these on the second card. So really nice. And so this, see here, for the next card, I used a die. It cuts out the flower. There's a die that cuts out the shell from the paper, and there's a die that cuts out the leaf. So that's one side, and then there's the other side of that paper. I'm using this, and then on the other side is this one. Here is the gold, the distressed gold. Isn't that really cool? Looks like something out of a medieval monastery. I'm using this on my next card, a little polka dot. And then on the other side of that, instead of flipping it, oh goodness, is this here with the shells. So really vintage colors, but with that pop of gold in here. Very nice. This was the color that I wasn't so keen on, that mango melody in there. Now I don't mind it in this piece of paper, and I'm using that on my card. These are the leftover pieces from the card I made yesterday. More gold. Here you see that pop of the mango melody. And it's really artistic. It's really cool. I can see my sister-in-law Tracy painting with this. But for me, it was like, ooh, a little jarring. So I used a piece of that in just a small amount on my card. I'll show you again. Look, I used it just in this strip here. And you can tell I strategically have only a very little bit of that mango melody on there. So you can make the paper work for you. This is really cute too. Very different, more wintry, definitely not too Christmassy of a feel. So that is the season of chic paper. What's on the other side of this one? Oh yeah, the flowers. I think I've showed it all to you. So now we're going to, I'm just going to put this away, and we're going to make our card. So we're starting with our card base, and then I'm going to, I've just laid out all my pieces here. We're starting with this piece here, and this one is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and it covers the whole card. So we're going to use liquid adhesive. And I didn't have this sitting in my stand. You should store your glue upside down, and then it's ready to go. You don't have to shake it then. It's quite handy. So I have a little case like this. Someone made this with a 3D printer for me. Isn't that cool? Yeah. All right. So this is going to go on the card. So I just line up the top corners and then go down. The next piece is this one, and it's 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. So you see, you just have this mat of the pattern paper all the way around, and it's the same paper. So I'm being generous with myself with my paper. I'm not trying to hoard it, save it. I'm like, you know what? Use it up. It's beautiful. That's the whole idea. That's why we buy it. We don't buy it just to look at it. So now we have this. So the textures are also in the paper, not just in the stamp set and the dies. So now I have a little piece of this polka dot. It's 1 inch by 6 1/4, and I also cut a piece of this gold, and it's 3/4 of an inch by 6 1/4. So what I'm going to do is just put a thin bead of adhesive, of glue, along the one edge, like that. And then we'll pick it up and lay it on our gold piece like this. So I did the exact same thing with the first card. The only difference is that I'm using different pieces of paper from that bundle, from that package. So now this is going to go off to the side a little bit, like so. We can add some adhesive again. And I could have probably used a thinner strip of the gold, but I wanted to have enough. I didn't want to have to stress myself out gluing it on. So slide it down. There we go. There. And then I had this saved from my other card, so I'm going to use that. It's 3/4, the white is 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8, and then this piece is a 1/2 inch by 3 7/8. And I'm going to put that, it just happens to go exactly to the edge of this piece, which is just perfect. Then I cut out this from the pattern paper. I'm going to tuck it like so. And I cut this one out with the die. And I'm going to put that here. So this one is a simpler card than the other one because this one I also used the that die in behind, which is really nice too. But I wanted to keep this one a little simpler. And so here you can see the difference between the two cards. So let's put it together. And this was just cut from the edge of the paper. So, you know, you don't have to waste those pieces because it's not a full flower. I love that trick. So on Saturday, we had a party for my Dutch relatives, our friends, Gerard's colleagues, his running group, and at a little cafe on the edge of a forest, and it's called the Bosrand. And what's really cool about it is that my mother used to walk in that forest as a young girl. She would meet her friends there. She'd walk with a boyfriend there. And I just think it's so cool that I am now enjoying that same space. And that little restaurant was there already when mom was a girl. The history here is just incredible. And it was supposed to pour rain, which would have been okay because it's such a cozy spot. But the sun came out, so we were able to go outside, and it was, oh, that's a bit crooked. So never press down hard until you've, you know what, I can move it over a little bit off the edge here. I'm going to do this, line it up with that edge. There. And yeah, and I'm going to pop this one up too. So it was just really, really nice. The cake was from Zeeland. I had been at my uncle's, I think 2 years ago, and for his birthday, and it was actually, COVID was not quite finished yet, and we were outside, and that cake was so amazing. So I asked my cousin to bring the cake with from there, and that made it special too. It was just a beautiful day. So much fun, so much love. And then my cousin, she's an artist, and she painted a portrait of Gerard and I separately. So he has one and I have one, and they're just so beautiful. So we're almost done with the card. Now, for the first card, I'm just going to put them beside each other. So this one has a little bit more going on, but you see how the one is all dark and moody and the other one is fresh? Same paper. And I'm starting to get over the fact that I'm not that big into the mango melody. I'm starting to think, you know what? It's pretty cool. So for this one, I took the rustic metallic gems, and for this one, it's a little brighter. So this green in here, that kind of, I would say it's called verdigris. You know, when you have copper on a roof and then it turns a bit green, that's what that looks like. So we're going to use, oh my goodness, where did I put it? This was also a fantastic tool that I used. This is the Pick Me Up tool. I use the pokey tool all the time, but this one is great for brushing out your dies. So when you order that attachment, it comes with a foam piece. And then let me just see, I'm going to show you. So this piece with the paper, you put it like this and you go over top, and all the little bits just fall right out. It's very, very handy. So that was a good tool. And now we're going to use some of these. I think I'm going to do both. So you pick it up with the pokey tool, and see, I'm going to use a big one of this. Yeah, it looks nice. I don't know if I'm going to use the bronze. Like that there. And I usually go with 3. You can do 5. I just don't want too many. But it just, those little things just add a little bit to your card. So I hope you enjoyed this simple layout. Now I say simple, this one was super simple. This one, by the time you die cut all your stuff and then I clear embossed on the leaves, it does take a little bit more time. And what I like a lot about this card is this one leaf from the paper. I just love that it's different. So I love the, it's just like a wow, like this whole big explosion of leaves. Yeah, I'm hoping the person feels the love. And then I actually use the same saying, you make each season of life even more beautiful. You could also go wishing you the best birthday ever. I'm here for you, thinking of you, love you, thanks, and you are amazing above measure or beyond measure. So lots of things. I think this is going to be really cool too. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with this, and there's a lot of directions that you can go in. It doesn't have to be vintage. It can also be fun and funky and colorful. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I've intrigued you. And next month in October, if you order the Season of Chic bundle, you will get um, that bundle, that PDF tutorial with all the ideas that you can do with it. So that's really helpful. If you don't buy the bundle, you can still get that for free with a $35 purchase. So yeah, that's 3 bundles now that you can choose from. I'm involved in 3 um, tutorial bundle groups, 3 design teams. It keeps me hopping. And if you're on my team, you get all 3 of them for free every month. So what's nice about that is that you get a ton of inspiration. You never have to be worried that you don't know what to do and that your creativity is going to be blocked. So there's always room for you in my team. And October 4th, Stampin' Up! Opens in Belgium and in Ireland. So if you follow me and you live in Belgium or Ireland, I would love for you to join my team. And don't forget that joining the team, getting the starter kit is the very best way to get the best deals on your stamps. There's really absolutely no deterrent to not do it, because when you get the starter kit, you right away get a 20% discount on your stamps. And regardless of whether you fulfill your monthly quotas or not, you will have 4 months, a minimum of 4 months to get your discount, regardless of how little or how much you buy. If you want to keep your discount, then you have to spend $400 every 3 months. So it works out to about $133 a month. So if you get a few friends to join in with you, it's really quite easy to do. But like I said, if for some reason you can't keep up that kind of buying habits, you'll just drop. It's not a big deal. There's no rap on the knuckles. There's no, how could you do this? You get to keep all your products. You don't send anything back. It's really a no-brainer, people. So, and I love my team. We do so many fun things together, and I can train you, or I can just encourage you in your creativity. I never try to push you into doing something that you don't want to do. So, and everyone gets treated the same on the team. I don't treat the business builder any differently than I treat the hobbyist. You're all important. You're all loved. You all make a difference. All right. I hope you have a super day, and I'll see you again tomorrow when I do a Stamping Through My Stash. Don't forget to click the red subscribe button, and that way you won't miss me. All righty. Bye.